Good morning, good morning. What up, gang? What's going on, folks? It's your girl, Sheree Robin. How's everybody doing this wonderful Fiction Friday? It's Fiction Friday. I'm so excited. Good morning. I'm so excited about Fiction Friday. And I love my Fiction Fridays. I feel like I got to give you so much information as much as I possibly can when it comes to fiction writers because everybody is doing so much nonfiction that people don't focus on the fiction writers, right? And truthfully, I think that there's so much more that goes into fiction than there is when it goes into nonfiction writing, because fiction writing involves scene building and character and plot development and shifts and transition and dialogue and attributions. And there's so much more that goes into actually writing a fiction novel, right? You have to create this entire world. Whereas in nonfiction, the world's already existed. You're kind of giving people your point of view, and you do have to do some really good storytelling in nonfiction, but fiction requires a certain finesse, right? So let's talk about our fiction authors this morning. Let's get into some good stuff when it comes to fiction. So the one thing I want to talk about, I have the pleasure right now of being in a fiction novel and editing one for someone. So I'm going into this process and looking at it. And one of the things that I see that is extremely common in fiction writing is that people deal with their descriptions very blandly, right? So I want to talk today about what descriptions are and how do you handle writing a good description. And the issue is that people, when you're writing a story, you're writing it for other folks, right? You're not writing it just for yourself. You are, as a writer, you're writing for your readers. You're concerned with their experience. Thank you. You're concerned with their experience in the process, right? What are they taking from this? What are they learning? What can they see and experience in your storytelling? So when you say things, right, as you're describing a character coming into a novel, this is the first time your reader is jumping in and they're learning about your character, and you say to them that this woman is beautiful. Great. Okay. And her handsome husband live in a big house. Awesome. I think that's good morning. That's fair, right? That's fair if you are in high school. That's fair if you are in elementary school, middle school, and you are just writing a story. But if you are a writer and you're a grown up and you are trying to give your readers the ultimate writing experience, then you cannot write relative descriptors like that. You cannot say to someone that she's a beautiful, or that your character that you're going to write 100 and 200 pages about is beautiful. Beautiful what? Beautiful how? How? Because your definition of beautiful and my definition of beautiful could be two entirely different things. So beautiful in what sense? So that's when it's your job as a fiction writer to go in deeper and explain to us the way that her eyebrows are shaped, the way that her eyes are shaped, the arch in her face, the color of her skin. Does she have a wide nose, a skinny nose? Does she have a nose like a beak? What is she shaped like? Give us the specifics. Describe for us this character. You have to be detailed in the art of storytelling. It is the difference between showing and telling. If I just tell you that she's pretty, I'm trusting that you believe me and you are in my understanding as a writer of what pretty is. But that's not necessarily the case. That does not go for everyone. What if somebody don't even like light-skinned women? What if your pretty is she's dark chocolate, beautiful almond skin, beautiful cocoa skin? What if it's two entirely different things? So you have to be able to paint a picture for your reader to clearly see and visualize. They cannot mistake that, especially if it's key to your storytelling. So if you're talking about her husband is handsome. Handsome how? Handsome what? Good morning. He got a round face. He got a strong jawline. Is he tall? Is he short? Does she tower over him? Does he walk in the room and command people's attention? What is going on with dude? We need to know. We need to see and visualize that. So telling us that she's pretty and he's handsome, that's elementary writing. That's grade school writing. That's the first round. That's what you do in your first draft. When you're going through that process and you're just getting it all out and you just want to get the story out of your head and you know that she's cute, right? That's where you start. When you go back in through and you're going through your next round of revisions, you're going to add some more description to that. We need to see exactly what that looks like. We need to know we need you to paint that picture for us. And when you describe spaces, it was a large space. Large according to who? Whose definition of large are you referring to? You're only thinking of your own as a writer if you don't then go into say that the space was vast or extensive and it spanned such and such miles, or it took her this long to cross the living room. Whatever, you can add elements into the room that can show us as a reader how large the room is. In a scene that I'm writing for my sequel, I actually finished that part already. Writing for a novel for myself, there's a Christmas tree in the room, and the Christmas tree is, I don't know, 30 feet tall. So of course, and it's in the corner of a room, small, and it looks small in the corner of the room. So you know that this is a huge room that she's in. So there are elements and there are tricks that you'll learn as you keep writing that you can use in your writing that help make your reader able to see things better, give them more ability to visualize what's actually going on, as opposed to just a generic description, a very vague description. You owe it to your readers. You have to give them that. You have to allow them the opportunity to have a full on experience, to see it, feel it, you can't taste it, but you want them to be as into it as possible, as much as they possibly can. And if you miss those opportunities, then if you don't do those, then you miss those opportunities to suck your reader in and to get them totally committed to your story, because now they have no idea what these people look like. And you're just spoon feeding them the story, right? That's not real writing. That's just storytelling. It's not the ability to show someone what's really going on. And I always use this example when I talk about good morning. Make sure you say good morning when you jump on. Hit those likes and those shares for folks this morning. Make sure that we share this information for those fiction writers out here who need this kind of content. But I always talk about the Thanksgiving experience, right? So if I say to you and everybody, when you have big Thanksgiving dinner and you try and tuck your plate away because everybody's still hanging around, people still coming in the house. So you get your plate, you tuck your plate in the back of the refrigerator. And at the end of the night, what happens if you go to get your plate and your plate is not there? Right? So if I'm writing that and I say, okay, well, James went to go get his plate out the refrigerator and James's plate was gone and James was mad. As a reader, you're going to be like, James was mad. Well, yeah, he was mad. Okay. But we don't know the extent of his anger. We don't know really what happened with James. But if I say to you, James opened the refrigerator expecting to see his aluminum foil wrap plate, and it wasn't in it wasn't in the back of the refrigerator. So James slammed the refrigerator door, marched up the stairs, burst into the living room, screaming at the top of his lungs, "Who took my plate?" Then you're like, oh, James is pissed. James is upset. Y'all gonna run his plate back before the end of the night. Somebody got his plate. Now you are engaged in the story. You can see James's anger. His face was flushed. He was upset. Like, I'm not just gonna tell you, oh, James was mad. Okay. And when I read stories like that, I will be honest with you, as a English person, as a writer, I'm offended. I'm like, you couldn't do no better than that? That's what you're gonna give me? I bought this book and you're gonna give me mad and sad and pretty? You're not going to even stretch yourself as a writer. You're not going to do the extra work of extending your vocabulary to give me some visual aspect of it. We just going to settle for pretty. We're just going to stop right here at mad. Oh, I'm irked now. I don't even know if I trust you as my writer, because I don't know if you can handle the English language soundly. I don't know what the depth of your vocabulary is. And I feel like from here on out, I'm going to get basic. I'm going to get real simple, corny, basic writing, and I'm turned off. So, and that's just me. No, well, that's me in this conversation, but that's not just me. People who are readers, especially we're talking about fiction now, and fiction readers are diehard fiction readers. They love a good story. They love to be sucked in. A fiction reader is not the same. I promise you, it's not the same as a nonfiction reader. A nonfiction reader will look at a book and be like, all right, this isn't that big. It's about 120 something pages, 150 pages. All right, this is cool. I can get through this in a weekend. Cool, no problem. A fiction reader is like 400 pages. Give it to me. A big thick book. They want more of that. They want the story. They want to be engaged and entertained. They want to be drawn in. They don't want, he was mad, she was cute, the house was big. Most people read it, but we're not talking about those kind of people. So Shay is saying most people read at the 5th grade level, though. I had to tone down my intellect. And I think that, and you're writing nonfiction. So that doesn't apply, because again, we're talking about the different kinds of readers here. The readers who are looking for something good, they're not the same. The person who is who is looking for a fiction novel, who is looking for a great story, they are going in wanting something that's going to suck them in. If you are just giving them the basics, they're not going to be entertained. They're going to be turned off. So if you're talking about you being extremely intelligent and you wanting to write a nonfiction novel, then you do have to bring it down to a level where people can understand. Still don't give them, and even in nonfiction, you still can't give them, if an experience happens to you and you can't say, well, I was upset by the experience. Well, how were you upset by the experience? You know, that's the same thing I tell people all the time, even in nonfiction. You know, I learned how to heal. Well, how? Well, how did you learn? What was the learning experience like? You still have to paint the picture in fiction. I mean, in nonfiction. It's a little different, but you have to give them the steps. You have to make it clear to your reader. You have to show them. You can't say, well, I was broke, now I'm rich. Well, bro, how did you get up? How did you get rich? If you're not going to tell me how you did it, then what are we talking about? If you're not, if in nonfiction, if you're not going to paint the picture for me to help me get over, and all you're doing is telling me your story, why am I here? What am I reading this for? It's not beneficial for me. It's just you gloating. It's a whole different monster. So, but that's nonfiction. Back to fiction. Back to fiction. You still have to paint the picture. You got to paint the picture. You owe it to your readers. You owe it to the people who spend their money on you. You owe it to the people who you want to continue to invest in you, who you want to build a fan base. You want these people to gravitate towards you. You want them to trust you as a writer. You want them to pick up your next release, you know, whatever that is. You want people to be in respect of your craft. And that's the difference. If you are a fiction writer, then you are a writer. You want to write, right? You are out here because you love to write. So you owe it to yourself to improve your writing by extending and expanding your vocabulary, by adding, showing elements to your story. If you just want to write a book, there's a whole lot of other people to help you with the fact that you just want to hurry up and write a book real quick. I ain't the one. So I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not what I do. If you want to write better and you want to become, you know, recognized in your authority and be able to verbalize your expertise and to expand your knowledge and to be able to be on the forefront of what you know in nonfiction and in fiction, if you want to become a better writer, that's what I do. I don't really do to people who just want to hurry up and have a book because everybody got a book right now. So, but those are two different kind of people and they operate in different spaces. So I know that, and it happens. People all the time just like, oh, I want to hurry up and write a book. Nonfiction, you got to slow it down. For fiction writers, they come to the game different. For every fiction writer who has been a part of the process, for myself, for Good Ground, for the Literary Base, every fiction writer comes to the game different because they know that writing is labor. They know that writing is going to take you through some things, that it's going to kick your butt, that you're going to have to do these drafts over and over again, that you're going to have to work at it till you get it right, that you might have to rewrite this entire chapter. They're aware of that because fiction writers are writers because they want to be writers. But you have a lot of people who dabble in nonfiction, don't want to be writers, they just want to be authors. And that's an entirely different thing. So it depends on where you are. For me, I'm going to give you 110% all the time. It takes a lot of work to write a book. Absolutely. And it's a lot of sacrifice and commitment. You know, it's a lot for you to understand that, and you have to humble yourself. You know, humble yourself and know that even if you're a good writer, you can always improve. And that's your editor's job, is to help you improve. So when someone comes to me, even if their story is good, but their manuscript is lacking these key points, then it's my job to show you that you can handle this better. You cannot just fall flat with this whack sentence and you're just like, oh, she was upset. Congratulations for her. But your reader is not going to enjoy that. So I'm going to always challenge you. That's what I tell people all the time. If you are built for it, then I'm the type of person, my team, we're the type of people that will help you. But we're not the kind of team that's going to just let you put out whatever. You know, it's going to push you. It's going to challenge you so that you become a better writer. That's the goal. That is the goal for us. If you just want a book, there's a whole lot of other people out here who want to help you write books. And a lot of them can't even write books. But we ain't going to talk about that. All I'm going to say today is descriptions. Write your descriptions so that people can see them. Utilize all of your senses when you do that. Add imagery. Show us what it means to be beautiful. Show us what it means to be angry, what it means to be large, what it means to be petite. You know, show us these things. How does that person, stand in relation to another person in a certain space. There are so many different tricks of the trade when it comes to being a fiction writer that you can implement in your writing, but you have got to do the work to do those things. So I encourage you this morning to keep writing, keep reading. Fiction readers are readers. They are avid readers. They read lots and lots of stuff because you're always reading as a writer to look at the other skills that your peers, your colleagues in the game, in the industry are utilizing. How are they saying certain things? How are they using language? How are they using their descriptors? How did you come to understand a certain thing about a character? By the way that they inserted it into the scene, by the way that they wrote it. So you pay attention to those things that are happening in other writers in their work, because you can learn from that. You can absolutely learn from that. So stay writing, stay reading, stay aware, stay in the know. There's definitely a difference between a writer and an author. I say it all the time. That it is what it is. That's the reality. That's the reality of it. And for me, I love helping people who want to write books and have a story. I do. But I love writers. I love writers. I love people who understand that this ain't going to be easy, and it's going to require you to work. It's going to require you to show up and be present and to understand that there is improvement to be made that we can get behind. And that means that when I show you this, you're not going to look at me like, I got to do this again. Oh my gosh, I don't even feel like writing this chapter no more. What if I said that to you? What if I said, I don't even feel like editing this chapter no more? You'd be like, dag, Sheree. No, I don't do that to people. So when you do that to an editor, y'all be killing me sometimes. But understand that that's why I love and I thank God that I've been able to work with so many incredible people who are open to the work required in telling a good story, and telling a good story, even in nonfiction, to share with people and change their lives. That requires work. It does. It's not a quick fix. It's not a overnight stand or one night stand. It's a love affair. It is an intense relationship with turning your message into something valuable for other people. So understand that, guys. Take that with you today. I hope that you understand. It's showing up his work. That's right. Mildred is in the mix. Mildred's getting her stuff done. Sabrina's in the mix. We got Trisha on. Trisha is published. Can I show Trisha? Can I show y'all Trisha's stuff? I'm so proud of Trisha's stuff because she's amazing. So I'm gonna just give y'all a sneak peek at Trisha's cover. Trisha, yeah, that's my girl. Okay, that's all y'all get. So she's ready to get published, and she said I can show her over. Okay, so y'all get to look at it. How beautiful is that? Yes, that's one of our fiction novels, Trisha. Y'all see that? And look at that. That's not a little skinny book. That's not a small book. This book is 200 pages, 207 pages. Trisha put work into this. Trisha loves to write, so she gave herself up to the process and allowed one of the babes to take her through that process and work that thing over and over and got some writing done. I'm so proud of you, love. So, yay, fiction. Do the work. It is so necessary. Yes, Shay, I can, but not on here. So all right, gang, that's all I have for you guys this morning. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you for hanging out with me this morning. And make sure you hit those likes and those shares and dedicate yourself to the process. Understand that it's going to kick your butt, and be open to it, because you are doing this for a reason. You want to be out here. Fiction writers, you want to be recognized as a writer, right? That's the game. You want to be recognized as a writer. You want to sell. You want to build your fan base. That's what you want to do. Boom, right? Nonfiction writers, you want to change people's lives. So you can't half-tail that. You can't skip through the process. You have to dedicate yourself to that. All right. I love you guys. Have a great day. Fiction. It's Fiction Friday. It's Fiction Friday. Get your writing on Fiction Friday. Okay, gang? All right. Love y'all. Have a great day. If you let me.